In perhaps the biggest tech outage so far, tech disruptions worldwide hit airlines, businesses and even emergency services. From flights to supermarkets, the global Microsoft outage disrupted multiple sectors. Microsoft later said that the underlying cause has been fixed and that all impacted services have been restored. The global Microsoft outage disrupted flight operations across the world, including India. In India, SpiceJet and Akasa Air said that they were facing technical issues that affected their bookings, check-ins and other flight updates as well. Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu has said that he directed airport authorities and airline to be compassionate and provide extra seating, water and food for passengers who've been affected by the delays. I'm being joined by my colleagues Anuj and Ghazali, but before we go to them, let me take you through the statements that have come in. Microsoft, in fact, saying that they've completed the mitigation actions and that it had impacted the Microsoft 365 apps and services earlier, but that has been recovered as well. They've also said that they're still monitoring to ensure that the impact is fully resolved on all ends. Remember, this issue occurred after an update, software update that was conducted by CrowdStrike. And they had in fact come out and said that it was a defect in the software update that led to the outage. My colleague Anuj joins us from the Mumbai airport and my colleague Ghazali joins us from IGI airport in New Delhi. Let me first bring in Anuj from Mumbai. Anuj, have flight operations normalized at the Mumbai airport?
See, flight operations were always much better and more frequent in Mumbai as compared to the other cities, that is Bengaluru and Delhi. The kind of systemic breakdown that we saw in the other two airports wasn't quite experienced in Mumbai as such, except for a few things around. But before I get into that, I'd like to show around. This is how the Mumbai airport looks in the morning. Now, it might seem very crowded, but as I've been saying since yesterday, this is quite a normal and a usual crowd for Mumbai airport. This is nothing new. It's one of the biggest airports that we have in the country. And as you can see, that there are queues, there are long queues, but then they're also moving forward as well. So that is what we are seeing here at the moment. The three to four important pointers. Firstly, a lot of manual intervention was put into place after yesterday's Microsoft issue. As a result, several things with be it the check-in process, be it the baggage process, or even the Digi process. Many of these processes had gone down and manual intervention had taken over. But since morning, we've noted or we've learned that all these systems have been put in place. We still don't see a lot of people standing in the Digi line, but that might be for different reasons according to the airports. So that suggests that there might still be a bit of inconsistency in the way Digi is working, but the system, according to them, is back in place. Now, more importantly, one airline, the passengers of one airline who faced the most problems yesterday was Indigo, and we checked with them in the morning and got to know that their server, which was down for a majority of the day yesterday, was back in place at 3 a.m. just 5 to 6 hours ago, which means that the rescheduling of the flights have become possible. Earlier, there was cancellation, which caused a lot of havoc and confusion amongst people. But now, because at least there's a bit of clarity that their flights are getting rescheduled to a time that they're aware of, that gives them a sense of ease. We saw in the morning that two flights have been cancelled from Mumbai. One is to Varanasi and other is to Kochi, while a few international flights have been rescheduled. But this is way better than what was the situation yesterday. From Mumbai alone, yesterday in the evening, we saw 9 domestic flights getting cancelled and all of them were from Indigo. The situation at the moment seems much better. Although Indigo also said that there are some flights which might get cancelled later, but because the system is back in place, what happened yesterday will most probably not be repeated here in Mumbai today.
Right. Thank you, Anuj, for bringing us those details from Mumbai Airport. My colleague Ghazali joins us from IGI Airport in New Delhi. Ghazali, is there a clear line of communication with the passengers as well about the status of their flights, and are there any disruptions today?
No, as Anuj was suggesting there in Mumbai, I think the situation has improved here in Delhi as well, and through visuals we'll see. Now, this is one kiosk through which you create or generate your boarding pass. Now, this was not working yesterday, but today you can see a long queue here of passengers generating their own boarding pass right outside the gate number 5. But what we have been picked up from the sources here, that inside the airport there are still issues in generating boarding pass for the international flight passengers, and that is why it is being issued manually. There are other display boards, those are still working today, which were not working here. As you see, the wait time board here, which shows that how much time it will take to make an entry there inside the airport at each gate. Now this display board which is showing that wait time here was not working yesterday, and there was absolute chaos. As far as the status of the flights are concerned, this display board shows the status of the flights, the call-in time, the check-in time, the boarding time. Now this was not working yesterday, but it is totally operational today, reducing all the chaos which we saw yesterday here at Terminal 3 departure. But the system has not fully recovered or has not been restored yet, is what the airport officials have told us, and that is why while making the entry from gate number 1 to 3, the DG Yatra app, or through which you make an entry, a seamless entry, that is not happening. Entries are happening manually through all the gates. The DG Yatra app is not working. As far as the boarding pass is concerned, and some flights and for some airlines it is facing issues because the system is not able to generate boarding pass for international passengers. But as compared to yesterday, it is much more seamless today. You will not see long queues there. The waiting time is much lesser than what it was yesterday, because all the system, display boards or even entries are being done electronically. All the machines are working right now. The security agencies, the airport officials are all outside at the entry gate, near the entry gate, to ensure that passengers are being told as well that systems have started working properly. Not fully, but partial restoration has been done.
Right.
So some of the systems are not working even now, which is that is why the boarding pass is not getting generated for some of the airlines, for international airlines. But more or less the system has recovered, and there are no hassles for passengers as we saw yesterday. The information is getting displayed here even if the flights are cancelled or delayed, or if there is any change in the schedule.